Welcome back to another Market Open live stream. Welcome. So it's interesting. Yesterday we were looking at the VIX charts and how oftentimes when we get these insane sell-off days, the volatility index falls again after those big sell-off days, and that's a little bit of what we're seeing here today as well. I want to start with that though because it's just fascinating to me. That is something that we kind of see as a pattern, unless there's like a really long continued black swan, so to speak. So take a look at this. So here's our classic Webull, which y'all pretty familiar with Webull right now because you can get 2 free stocks with them when you deposit $100. But so last March was really unique. Last March, we had the VIX go up, drop a little, go up, drop a little, go up, drop a little bit. But that's the only time we really saw this continued rising of the volatility index, which I thought was kind of interesting because these other times, look at this, we get these sort of peaks in June, and then we get big falls. We get these peaks over here in September. Remember right after the Apple and Tesla split? Who remembers that? That was like, what, really? Like right after that run up was like, okay, here's your plummet. And then here we go right before the election, that crazy fear we had. It was almost always like that first peak was the worst. And then it came down after that. Now we did have twin peaks over here, but it's really interesting that when we get these spikes, with the exception of March, it's almost always been like in the toilet one day in terms of market pricing, so volatility goes way up, and then all of a sudden you see the VIX fall down. That has been consistently true every time. Honestly, that was the only thing that got me to buy yesterday because I had this overall belief of, hey, you know, there's still a good chance we could see sort of that S&P 500 sell-off, and only because of that sort of stick observation. I'm like, no. I'm gonna convince myself to buy. Jack, you want to come say hi? Yeah, come on over here. Okay, say hi. Yeah. What do you do? What are you doing up so early?
I want to play Switch.
You want to play Minecraft?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Did you make my coffee for me?
Yeah, and can I make another food box? because the other food box is full, and I have more food to put in it.
Absolutely, Jack. Okay. All right. So where were we? Oh yeah. Okay. So anyway, I wanted to hit that regarding the volatility index. Again, that was the only reason I bought yesterday. And to me, I kind of call it, I have this thing of never squander a red day. Now, trust me, that can be painful when you get lots of red in a row. But yesterday was just one of those red days where it's like, it's so red. But anyway, Marathon Digital and Riot. Wow, oh wow. Yesterday, these guys were down in the after hours like 18%. It was absolutely nutso. And now they're only down 6%, which only 6%, like 6% is still pretty crappy. But yeah, these are our worst performers right now. Marathon, Riot. It's really the crypto miners. I would expect to see some more of the pain with other crypto miners today as well. I will at 10 o'clock California time today. So what is that? 1 o'clock Eastern. I will be interviewing the CEO of Hut 8 Mining again, specifically to find out what their opinion is on Elon Musk environmental comments. So I think that'll be really interesting talking to a Bitcoin miner in Canada, crypto miner, I should say, who's probably directly affected by Elon Musk's commentary, or should I say, movements by Tesla. So, Jack, go ahead and build whatever you need to. Okay. Oh, okay. I can't talk to you right now, though. Okay.
It's so cool.
We'll talk. I'll look at it later. Thanks, Jack. Promise. All right. So, what do we got? Well, let's start with a little bit of green here. Other than Marathon there and Riot, we've got Shift is up 6.7%. Ocugen's up about 6. AMC up roughly 6. Nice move here on AMC. AMC's been stuck under 10 for quite a bit of time here. Doing a nice move here. Let's go ahead and pull the day chart on this. Yeah, you can see on the day chart here, AMC's just kind of been getting reamed for a bit here. You've got 6-7 days here in the row. You've had quite a period of downside between March and April. You know, you get a few days of green here. This will be, what, 3 days of green over here. Let me go to normal candles for a moment. Yeah, roughly 3 days on the uptrend, though 4 days if you go to the average candles here. So nice uptrend, though. You'd like to see that for AMC. I do want to take a moment and look at crypto, though, because, well, yesterday we had lots of crypto drama. Lots and lots of crypto drama. And, well, look at this. We've got, let's go, here, let's average this a little bit. The candles are always so ridiculous on the coins, mostly because they just never stop trading. So I'm going to go to the 30-minute chart here. And this is pretty incredible. I mean, yesterday I want to say, I'm trying to remember. Yesterday was where's the 10th? Oh gosh. Okay, so here we go. Yeah, today's the 13th. Okay, here we go. The 12th. There we go. Here was our Elon Musk sell-off. Now we got our bearings straight here. Here's our Elon Musk sell-off. And what's crazy is we tried recovering, but we kind of went almost right back to those lows. Not quite. We hit 47.6 as a 130-minute low here, which I think was really more like a 10-minute low. And we did sort of double dip here and get to a second higher low of 48.5-ish. Trying to trend back up right now. We'll see what happens over here. But yeah, this definitely has become a little bit of a sustained drop over here. Ethereum, same thing. What's that, Jack?
You have to watch quick.
Jack, I can't watch quick right now. I'm sorry. I will watch later though.
Night is almost over.
Oh, well, show everybody. Come over here really quick, okay? But then you got to go back upstairs, okay? What do you want to show everybody?
When I eat, do you see that?
Yeah.
When I eat it, look what happens. So it's nighttime and it's raining.
Yeah.
Look what happens.
You munch in the rain and you create lightning?
Yeah.
All right, Jack. I'll see you later, okay?
Okay.
All right, bye. So, all right. So Ethereum is, look at Ethereum. This is actually a little bit of a shocker to me because we got our Ethereum sell-off yesterday, but we had a strong recovery. But Ethereum has actually sold off lower than Bitcoin. And that is a little odd to me that Ethereum, yeah, Jack's awesome. Thank you. It is a little odd that Ethereum would sell off lower because a lot of people were actually flocking to Ethereum initially on sort of the bounce, and Ethereum was doing better, but now it's doing worse. Maybe it's because it's at all-time highs. That's possible. Doge had its sell-off down to about 40 cents and it's bobbing around that 40 and 41 right now. But yeah, wow. Okay. So let's see what else we got going on. And we'll keep an eye on these cryptos here as the market opens. We do have Playboy back up. Get sort of a nice momentum play in on Playboy. We've got Mind Medicine. We'll be having that interview again soon, which will be really fun to do. Probably sometime in the 20s is when we'll do that interview. Got Etsy up a few percent here. Where's Tesla? Just to look at one of ours. Let's see, Tesla. Tesla's up a couple percent. And Posh still down 13 after those earnings. But that's an earnings mover. It's tough right now. Let's listen in.
Barry has an incredible ability to analyze capital structure and balance sheet of companies. I mean, if he's got that hat, and then he's also got the other.
Can we also say that he is a great, humble guy and does not come on?
He's just very, very good and very smart. And don't even get him started on SPACs. He's been Jaws Spitfire, has done a bunch of them, but he's got some interesting things to say on that subject too. When it comes to some of the other promoters out there.
If I could own stocks, I would own.
Really? Come on, fill in.
Good. Guys, there's the opening bell.
There we go.
S&P heat map at the bottom of your screen. As we're starting the trading day, United says it's started to. What
do we got there? That looks like 60% green, 40% red. Okay. All right, we'll take it. Yeah, I got a few shout outs here in the chat on ADA. Let's go to CoinMarketCap and just take a brief look here at some of these sticks. All right, so what do we got over here? All right, so we have Cardano moving up about 4.5%. That's not bad. That's a nice move. This should be new all-time highs for this coin here. Yeah. Let's go ahead and take a peek here. Yeah, we are. We're at new all-time highs here. We did have a little bit of a monetary volume peak here. I like looking at not just the coin volume, especially when they're so inexpensive. I like looking at the actual dollar volume. We did have a peak here, which is good. It's pushing Cardano to new levels. So, that's exciting here. And then when we look at the 24-hour market cap, or sorry, 24-hour volume of some of these, I mean, golly, look at that. $100 billion. No, sorry. Wait a minute. That's million? Yeah. $103 billion transacted in Bitcoin in the last 24 hours. And Ethereum almost similarly, 87 were traded. This is kind of incredible. All right, let's go ahead and jump on over to see what's going on in the stake world. Let's go ahead and put away pre-market, post-market. We'll look at cryptos as well. Sono's moving nicely. We got, here we go. Where did, there was another one that was running. I don't know where it went. Anyway, so we got Ocugen's up 6. Where's Sono? Sono? Oh, we don't have it on the watch list. Well, we'll change that. There we go. Sonos moving a nice 8% here. Yesterday it was up a lot more in the afters. It was up like 17%. It was great. But 8.5-ish% here on Sonos. Ocugen up about 6.74. Playboy 4.74. AMC's up 4%. We'll see what kind of movement. AMC's starting off with some red here. Red candlesticks on AMC. Yeah, Cardano is proof of stake, which means little to no energy usage, while BTC and Ethereum are proof of work, meaning higher energy. Yeah, no, you're right. You do get a lot of folks, though, who consistently say that proof of work is still more secure, though. I don't know that we've had, it'll be maybe something to look at to see if there have been breaches or issues at Cardano. I mean, I haven't heard of any. That doesn't mean they don't exist, but that'd be something to compare to. So thank you for donating $4.99 to say that. All right, Roku, what do we got here? We got lots of movement here. Roku moving up about 3%. A lot of things trying to get to the upside here, it looks like. Invitae's coming up. Yeah, there we go. Invitae's coming up 3%. Looks like I see Churchill Capital up about 3%. We've got Redfin, Penn National Gaming. These guys all around here at that 2.5% range. We have GameStop up about 2.5 here. Peloton, Vuzi, Tesla. A lot of these guys 2.25, 2.5. Etsy, Spotify over here at about 2%. Canoe 1.9. Zoom 1.8. So a lot of the ones that got really spanked yesterday up nicely. Well, what's nicely? I mean, up modestly is the way to put it. On the downside here, you do have Bumble down 7%. That must have been an earnings call here. Yeah, that must have. Opzar says Sonos were the ones who bricked some of their older devices just to enforce obsolescence. Ouch! I didn't hear that. Ethereum 2 is technically proof of stake. Yeah, you hear that too, but I think maybe people might be moving or interested in looking to things that are proof of stake now and working well, right? I think Ethereum. I think it's Ethereum 2 is proof of stake, or that'll be where we get to full proof of stake. And somebody says crypto is dead without proof of work. It's interesting. It's really like there's just like a big debate around this regarding proof of work and proof of stake. All right, we'll see. All right. So somebody says XPeng's earnings were pretty encouraging for the chip shortage this morning. I'm going to have to look that up. So we got Xpeng in the chip shortage. And then somebody mentioned, I don't know, I saw a couple of you mention other earnings, which we could pull those up in a moment. Let's go ahead and take a listen in over here. Well, I do want to see cryptos quickly, and then let's take a listen into CBC and see what Bloomberg's got for us as well. Doge slightly moving to the upside here. Ethereum bobbing around that 38 level here, 38.20 level. And around that 50.3K for BTC. Let's go ahead and listen to Jim and them for a moment. Pull up the terminal and see what we can find out as well regarding Xpeng and the others.
The size of this company is enormous.
Have you bought anything in Alibaba?
Have I? No,
not
a thing.
Comes perfect. Good. I've used Alibaba.
Talk.
Have you?
Yeah.
Well, it used to be, to help. Was originally to help you could contact with somebody who would then import here for you.
Yes.
Right.
Get chairs for a restaurant at Alibaba.
Right.
Cheaper than going to the restaurant. We don't do that now. We buy American.
All right. And they're just yapping. PPI jumped So this is the producer price index, which comes generally reports after the consumer price index. It's not as like jazzy of a number that we generally talk about, but last month we grew 1% on a month-over-month figure. Producer prices rose in April by more than forecast, adding to signs of inflationary pressures. The producer price index increased 0.6% from the prior month after a 1% gain in March. Excluding volatile food and energy, the PPI, the core PPI, advanced 0.7%. So it's interesting. We saw a bigger monthly gain in March. The 0.6 still beat expectations here, but it is lower of a month-over-month gain. That's good. I mean, even though it might be a little higher than expectations, we don't want to see inflation just continuously go up, month over month after month. And fortunately, that's not what we're seeing here. So that's very good on PPI. But of course, still, production costs, supply bottlenecks, shortages tied to the pandemic recovery have caused commodity prices to soar. This is why yesterday I tweeted mentioning, which remember to follow me at Real Kevin. I tweeted yesterday in response to somebody asking about what about commodity prices, that you can see some of the commodity price increases in PPI, but there are actually commodity indices that you can follow if you were so inclined. All right, let's see. Okay, Fed officials have said pent-up demand from bottlenecks will prove temporary. We know that. We know what happened with CPI yesterday. We know also that the opened up yesterday. The pipeline. Supposedly the pipeline is flowing again, which is honestly good news. I mean, the gas lines we were seeing. I mean, that's not something you want to see happening. It's kind of crazy, but it happened. So all right, let's see what else we can do here. We're gonna jump on over to Bloomberg Live. We'll go jump on over to the terminal as well. But yeah, good to see the PPI not come in as crazy high as it did in March, which is good. We'll see how bond yields are reacting in just a moment. Let's go ahead and give Fox a shot here.
Newsflash, the panic is not going away. We've got a live report on this kind of thing from Atlanta for you. Thinking about buying a used car? I can see a problem right there. Prices are absolutely skyrocketing. We'll tell you what's going on.
Shift.
Used car market.
Oh, I wonder if this is going to pump the stock. Shift co-CEO going on Fox. I don't know if they have the same CNBC effect, but we'll have to watch that. That's cool. I tell you, Shift is one of those. Do your fundamental analysis. Kind of like a lot of people are like, oh, Kevin, you're just high on growth stock. Yeah, like value stock. I love a true value stock. I love it. And I'll tell you, Shift, that to me is a true value looking stock. I like it. All right. So we'll keep an eye on this because that'll be interesting. Let's listen into Bloomberg then while we wait for this.
Anybody does, and that's where the debate is. And I think the Fed is, I know a lot of people like to criticize the Fed for being late, but I've learned a couple things, and like the guys who are smart with 30 years of experience, I try not to say that they're the dumb ones. So maybe they're not behind, and maybe they're just waiting for better evidence of wage inflation and see what things impact the economy after all the stimuli. So, that's the setup I think about. And in the 6 to 12 month view, look, the banks have had massive multiple expansion, and they really haven't improved their actual underlying corporate growth that much.
Boring. Okay, hey, look, I've gotten these requests so many times. Y'all killing me with this request. So we're just going to try it on Twitter then, because obviously email's not working. What's the Charles here? This guy. Here we go. Would love to chat about proof of work versus proof of stake on YouTube live sometime. The audience demands it. The audience demands it. Would love to, especially after Elon flipped. Okay, there we go. All right, okay. All right, there you go. So for everyone saying, I got to interview Charles, I've emailed. I have not heard back. Now we are going to do it publicly. Boom. If you want to see it happen, I need your help. You gotta retweet. Hit him up. Give him a retweet. By the way, thank you for following on Twitter. We did break, we're almost at 119,000 on Twitter. That's super cool. And we broke 1.6 yesterday on YouTube. The only thing that's falling behind is Instagram. We're at 99.5 thousand at Real Meat Kevin on Instagram. We are 500 subscribers away from 100K on Instagram. It's super cool. Okay. Let's listen to Bloomberg just for a moment. We got Shift coming up, which I'm like, wow, this guy was boring though. Now, you know what? We'll wait for Shift and we'll look at the sticks. That's what we'll do. We'll go to the sticks. Okay, I see. Trying to understand what's happening here. We got Bumble rotating to the down. Marathon's rotating down. Riot is rotating down. Doge is still climbing a tiny little bit. Coupong's down. Alibaba down. We got a little bit of a rotation to the downside here. Let me get my I'm not effing leaving cup here. Is AMC rocket shipping? Oh, if it's up 10%, yeah, let's go check it out. One sec. Good old coffee. I can't believe I quit you for a while. All right. So where were we? AMC, ooh, breaking 11. This is good. This is nice. And again, look at the day chart. We're on that uptrend, but what I really like right now is that we've got this increasing bar right here. To me, it's a bullish sign until it's not. So keep an eye on U-turns here, but this is good. Wow, 3.7 million shares of volume at the open. If I recall, that's higher than like the 2.5 we usually see. I'm not 100% certain about that, but I will here. You know what we'll do is we'll go to the 5 minute, and let's see. So the first 5 minutes here we had 5.6. 5 minutes, obviously, more than 1 minute. Yeah, more volume. We had 3.2 yesterday, so the suspicion was correct. 5.2. Okay, so we're 5.6 right now. So this is the highest volume we've seen at AMC since the 10th. That's good. Nice. That's a nice move here on AMC. Some good volume. Like to see that. And AMC. Wow. I mean, it's definitely one that a lot of folks like trading, and this is a very nice ride right here. So yeah, keep an eye on this one. Our polling and extending above the VWAP right now, although people stop using that usually like 15 minutes in. Yeah. Anyway, we'll keep an eye on AMC here. So far, no sign of this sort of dipping down to the backside. In the meantime, we did an interview here with our Shift co-CEO as well. Let's listen in.
New cars with the chip situation, so that's driving people to buy more used cars. So we're seeing massive growth in demand, and that's driving prices up.
How's it only up 1%?
Why is it that older models are selling better? I read your stuff. You're selling models from 2008 to 2016. They're going better, and they're selling for higher prices. Why?
Well, generally, there's a lot more demand in the market for older vehicles. Kind of 4+ year old cars sell a lot better. There's scarcity in those cars, and they're harder to find. So people obviously are willing to pay more.
Still pumping, by the way, on AMC. We're up to 1136 now.
On shift.com, you can buy pretty much any kind of car between 0 and 10 years in age across a variety of brands. And we're seeing really strong demand coming in from consumers because of market conditions, and also because people are learning that we exist. I mean, we were a small private company a year ago. Now we're public and tripled revenue in Q1. So I think as people learn that we exist, more and more people want to use it. I think buying online is so much easier than buying in a store that people want to take advantage of that opportunity.
Okay, let me see how this thing works for you. If I'm a consumer, I've got a car, used car, and I want to sell it. Do I just come straight to you online and you tell me what price you're going to buy my car for? That how it works?
Yeah, you come to shift.com, you submit your car information. Our algorithm will tell you how much we can pay for that car. And then if you want us to buy it from you, we'll come out to your house, pick it up, take it away, and you'll never see the car again. We'll then recondition the car in our facilities because we believe that getting a car to a certain standard is really critical. And then we'll list the car for sale. And then if the buyer wants to buy the car, they have a couple of options for how to buy it. They can either buy it online, fully transact in front of their computer, and then have the car be shipped to them. Or they can have the car be brought to their house for a test drive and then transact on an iPad inside the car at their home.
Nice.
I hate to say this, George, but the pandemic and the chip shortage were the two best things to happen to you. Would you agree with that?
The pandemic definitely pushed the industry here about 5 years forward. I think everyone expected that e-commerce auto transactions would grow dramatically. I mean, if you take us, Vroom, and Carvana all together, we are like less than 1% of the market. So everyone thought that over time they would grow dramatically, but you've kind of had a 5-year move forward in terms of growth and people's desires to do things this way in the last year.
Remarkable performance at Shift. George Harrison, thank you very much for joining us this morning, sir. Good story. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. Speaking of cars, JP Morgan says it wants to update its entire fleet of electric vehicles. No, update them to electric vehicles. It occurs to me, Susan, that is this the start of...
Okay, I didn't know JP Morgan had a fleet. But anyway, yeah, very cool to see Shift on. What's really pumping right now, though, is AMC, although it looks like we might be getting our first red candlestick here. So first sort of red candle here on AMC. Really nice push, though, there on AMC. Sonos now up 7.7. GameStop moving with AMC. GameStop does not want to be left behind. Yes, that's Arc and Square do have a very good report on climate change. I saved it, but I never finished it. I'll get it. It was pretty sure it was a wipe. I'll get to the bottom of it. We'll figure it out. Oh no, I have it. Yeah, here it is. I have it. Yeah, I'll go through it. So what else we have here? Look at that. Churchill Capital moving nicely, up 4.78%. Ashford Hospitality Hotel Group is in here as well, doing nicely at 4.5. Peloton's up 4. Back to 92. Those 80s were juicy. No, you know what was juicy was buying it at 79 there. I did do a buy there. That was fun. Well, or it was really painful, and then you kind of just convinced yourself to buy anyway. I'm not sure. But anyway, some good green here, but it is a mixed day. It's not all green. It's definitely seeing some pain over here at the miners. Definitely seeing Bumble get spanked here as well on a downtrend. We got Dogecoin moving, struggling to get above that 42. We did get about a $30 move here on Ethereum to the upside. Also very slow and steady trying to recover here. Where's good old Bitcoin? There it is. Bitcoin at 50,400, just sort of bobbing around that flat point, kind of like Tesla. Tesla's flat right now. Tesla gave up about 2.3% here in the morning hours. Well, morning hours. The last 19 minutes it did. All right, let's. They're talking about the border wall on Fox, so let's go to CNBC and then Bloomberg. Okay, TV commercial. Right, back to Bloomberg.
Crossover to you on this margin story. Cost pressure is where all the headlines are, right? Margins were pretty decent through Q1. I've kept asking this question whether we can repeat the act in 2, 3, 4, and where people think we've got some strength, some consumer price tolerance, some pricing power from sector to sector. Adam, where are you looking for that at the moment?
You know, I think the number one signal, we ingest a couple hundred signals to see what's efficacious at predicting stock return. That's sort of the quant speak for, hey, what's going to work? And what's going to work is what we call incremental gross margin. So if you're a 30% margin business and you grow your revenue from here and you're going to have margins above 30 on that new revenue, I think you're going to be a pretty good business. And so we're looking to avoid stocks where those expectations for incremental margin are very high. Some of it's in the industrial space where the numbers have gotten a little bit optimistic in our view. And then we're going to try to buy things where the incremental margin expectations are in line with what the businesses have been able to achieve. So there's a lot of areas in select consumer and select tech where that's the case. I would say that among the growth stocks, you want to buy the ones that are expanding their gross margins right now and have free cash flow. So there's a lot of incredibly expensive stocks, as you just alluded to. The ones that you can own today are the ones that have cash flow and margin expansion. That's how we're positioning it. It's not just, buy anything at any price because the starting valuations are still high.
Michael, your take?
So in terms of final thoughts, Jonathan, can I just point out that there's I think a lot of anxiety in the markets about rising rates and how high rates can go, and I don't think there's enough conversation about the natural demand that's out there for investment grade and treasuries. And we see it a lot at BlackRock. I hear anecdotes regularly, including this week, about the demand from pensions as they de-risk because the funded status is so high as they sell equities and buy investment grade bonds. I heard from our cash team that's seeing massive.
Alrighty. I want to say what the first guy said was very, very interesting. Hold on a second.
Liquidity in the system, looking for any sort of safe or relatively safe.
Okay, sorry. I like this. Look for low margin expectations and buy there. I think that's a great idea. One of the things that I regularly look at is margin expansion. And I think this pandemic and these supply shortages, and I've talked about this many times before, is going to literally be the best thing that's going to happen to margin. And I'm not talking about debt. I'm talking about companies becoming hyper efficient, really well-oiled, well-greased machines. And even though now things are getting beat up because it's like, oh, what about all the inflation risk? These companies are becoming so hyper efficient as they deal with this inflation risk. And so I completely agree. I think if you now it's just a matter of aligning margin expectations, but you find companies with low margin expectations that are in growth, whew, good.
And your yield at 1.5 or 1.7. It's just the difference between supply demand and the institutional world. And anybody who's managing equities would say, oh, that's a terrible idea. I can own stocks that grow and have yields, and why the heck would I ever own a 10-year? So the market's got a lot of interesting supply-demand dynamics.
Different seats. It's great to catch up with you both. Adam Parker.
Good to see you.
And Michael Fredericks. Good to see you both. Thanks, guys. Let's turn back to this market. Tech doing nicely. Here's Abby.
All right. Let's go ahead and jump over to let's go ahead and give this a shot here. And I'm going to pull up the terminal as well.
They don't even tell us. Willie may not be as good against Brazil. Doesn't work.
Yes, that's part of the hesitancy is, at least if you believe the polls, that the information is just so disparate right now that it's not confirming confidence in vaccination in general. Got a 1% gain here now on the Dow, up 322, and the Nasdaq's up 122. Don't go away.
All right. So reminder to retweet my tweet there on trying to get Cardano on the show. I think it'd be wonderful. Or Creative Cardano. Okay, I'm going to look up. Let's see here. Where can we get? Let's go in here to analysis. I really want to find margin expectations. Oh, here we go. Okay. So, for example, at Tesla, the gross vehicle margin came in at 22% in Q1, and it actually the expectations were for margin to be 21.3%. Expecting that to be, let's see here, 21.8 in Q2, 21.8 in 3. Actually consistent until about 20. Not really expecting it to go up to 23 until early 2022. I don't know. I think that's kind of low. That does surprise me because once the S and X come out, you would expect margin to kind of blow up. Here, I'll show you what I'm looking at in just a sec. Pull this up here. Can I do this? There we go. All right. Okay, the easiest way to do this is just a screenshot. So here's just a screenshot. So this is sort of Wall Street consensus estimates for gross margin over at Tesla, and you can actually see Wall Street's not so enthused about that margin expansion at Tesla, which I know Tesla is one of those where it's like, oh, of course, talking about Tesla. It's just interesting. I mean, we'll look at some of the other ones as well. But okay, let's pull off this here. I do want to look at a 10-year as well. Yeah, Coinbase reports after hours, right? So let's go to 10-year chart. We haven't done that yet this morning. Let's see what the 10-year looks like this morning. Maybe we'll look at those break-even expectations as well. So 10-year right now, it hit a high of almost 1.72. Yeah, but right now it looks like we are down a little bit. Yeah, we're down a little bit to 1.67. So that's good. A little bit rotation again to the downside. We don't want to see this just going straight up. Yesterday, when it went straight up, we saw the market go nuts. Market not very happy. And we don't want the market to be unhappy even more. It's been too much of unhappiness in the marketplace. Let's take a peek at the sticks right after we do 10-year break even. 10-year break even. All right, here we go. Yeah, we talked about the PPI already. It's good that it didn't come in as high as last month, month over month. Obviously, it still came in a little higher than expectations. But look at this. You're really seeing inflation expectations evaporate from yesterday, right? Here's your inflation expectation chart. You get this panic. And the good news is it's kind of evaporating back down. It's like the numbers sunk in. Just good. That is good. All right, what else is good is AMC moving nicely here. Still very consistent uptrend right now. Volume is higher today. Sonos, you got a very, very nice move here on Sonos. Mind Medicine up 5.5% here. Very nice. Churchill Capital is moving up about that 4.5, about 4.5 here at Peloton. Voyager Digital's up a little bit. Oh, we got some of the OTCs up now. Where's Hut? There you go. Hut 8 Mining. Yep, trading over here with the miners. Kind of anticipated that. G-Tech. You know, I never invested in the Canadian kind of cannabis sector. There's so much competition. It's incredible. It makes me a little nervous. But I had a great interview with G-Tech. Let's listen in to Jim here for a moment.
Definitely be tuning in for that. Mad Money, 6 p.m. Eastern time. 1% gains, back above 4,100. Don't go away.
Fine. Go to commercial right away. Fine then. That's fine. Coinbase is sitting at 279 right now. It's kind of been bobbing around here since the open. Let's see. Bloomberg's also on commercial. Reminder, we got to get this moving here. Thank you to the 157 of you who have retweeted. You true fans, you. Thank you, and the 417 of you who liked. Yeah, we got to get this. Got to get this set up. Let's hear their thoughts. All right, we've got Bloomberg's on commercial. Let's go back to the sticks here. All righty, so let's see what's going on in the mid range. Let's take a peek at the mid. So Tesla has gone back up a little bit here. It's still under 600 though. I have to say. I mean, gosh. I like it. I just like it under 6. Did buy yesterday. Probably not going to buy today. You know what I do want to do is I want to look at SPY puts. Because remember what I said yesterday. Yesterday we were talking about how puts were very, very pricey for today, as in yesterday. And we were even out at sort of the June, July. Let's see how they're behaving today. These guys, the June, July, no, I think it was the July 16th we were looking at. July 16th yesterday was up like 60 to 70%. It was insane. A little bit of, I mean, it's a good give back here, right? 30% reduction in pricing here. But if you think that getting in on some S&P 500 puts is a good idea, obviously today would be the day to do it, not yesterday. Which we kind of anticipated that you'd be better off waiting a day before going YOLO on some puts. These are the kind of times, see, and this is the funny thing about options is like, oh great, now the SPY puts are cheaper, but now you're probably thinking to yourself, well, now the market's green, now I don't want puts anymore. Bingo. This is how you can never get good pricing sometimes. You have to be contrarian to really get those the good prices on the on puts. So what do we got over here? AMC is now at 1160. I mean, it just continues to roar here. Very, very nice. Very nice. Puts were better in February. Well, isn't it nice to go back in hindsight and go buy them February 16th? Of course they were nice then. Peloton's got a nice rise here as well. I did want to look more at the middle here. Apple up a couple percent. Apple's just done nothing for 6 months, just bobbing around. JP Morgan at 160 is actually pretty good. You got ARK up about 1.8%. What else do we have here? Tesla sitting at 1.25. Etsy's 1 and a bit. Got Alphabet sitting at 0.9. TTCF after earnings yesterday. Come on, man. Where's my $20? I got to dump this. Well, still getting a little bit of growth here at Doge and Ethereum, which is good. Let's listen to the top 3 they want to talk about over here. Oh, they're going to talk about Sonos, are they? Let's listen in.
Consumer demand. You can see those shares are up 11% right now. Poshmark, though, different story. Heading in the opposite.
Palantir running a little bit right now. It's only up 1.8 right now, but we got some nice green candles.
Guidance. Similar story for ThreadUp, which is also under pressure today. But the CEO of Poshmark will join the closing bell later today. You can catch that starting at 3 p.m. Eastern. Finally, Bumble, surprising analysts with an adjusted first quarter profit, reporting upbeat numbers, recovery in romance, if you will. But it's still under pressure right now. It's down 8%. Don't miss the CEO of Bumble, by the way.
Where's Sarah? I feel bad. I'm sorry. I shouldn't say that. This Morgan probably hates that. I'm sure. I don't know. Like, well, hopefully she doesn't watch this. Okay. So what do we got here? Xpeng. I want to take a look at a little bit of the reporting from Xpeng, mostly because of what one of y'all said. So what do we got here? All right, Xpeng. Let's look at Xpeng earnings here. Xpeng has Q1 adjusted loss of 44. Oh, it's in renminbi. Okay, so divide by, is it 6.5 or 7 now? All right, let's see here. $1 to RMB. 6.45. All right, it's close. All right, so adjusted loss for Xpeng was 44 renminbi cents. A loss per share, non-adjusted, was 50 cents. So you have to divide by 6.45 to get dollars. Net loss of probably about $100 million here, 786 yuan, a little bit more. Vehicle deliveries for Q2 coming in at 15.5 to 16,000 at Xpeng. Q2 revenue is revenue forecast coming in at 3.4 to 3.5 billion. That is higher than the expectation of 3.28 billion. Very good. We have, let's see here, Xpeng EPS beats by 7 cents. Ooh, I'm trying to understand. These numbers are so much more complicated in a different currency. Sorry. Revenue boosted by record-breaking vehicle deliveries. Adjusted loss narrows. Revenue grows. Issues good Q2 guidance. Let's see here. Xpeng results trump estimates. Delivery momentum. Okay. Vehicle deliveries to rise despite chip shortages. Ooh, that is the headline I like seeing. Oh, folks, this is the first CEO that you know what? Xpeng CEO is a Meet Kevin subscriber. That's it. We figured it out. Hold on. I'm trying to show you this headline. I don't know why this chart's being so stupid right now. Where is it? My stupid chart disappeared on me, but I want to read you this headline because it's freaking awesome. Okay. Are you ready for this? Look at that headline. When do I say we see the improvement in inflation? When does Kevin say it? I'm like a broken record. I'm not even going to say it again. Xpeng president, expect chip shortage or chip situation to begin improving in Q3. Let's go. That's what we want to see. That's good. And guess what happens, folks? The more CEOs come out and say, hey, we're starting to see the shortage abate, and it looks like 2024. Shut up, Waller. That we're starting to see the chip shortage. The more CEOs come out and y'all terrible. The more CEOs come out or presidents come out and say they expect inflation to start inflecting to the downside in Q3, the better, and the sooner that starts getting priced in the market. Because remember, even though I say I think we'll have a recovery by September, October, people keep asking me, well, Kevin, if that's true, why don't you sell now and buy back in, I don't know, in late August? Well, that's because the market is going to start pricing in those September, October expectations at some point. I have absolutely no freaking clue when. This is why, like a dum-dum, I keep buying all the dips, because I'm like, at some point, they're going to price in these expectations for September, October. And I do not want to be out. So this is very good. I mean, that is a money update right there. Of all the earnings transcripts I'm reading, this is one of the first times that I'm seeing this, and I'm very, very, very happy about that. So that's very, very good to see. So thank you, Xpeng. All right, let's go ahead and pop back on over CNBC.
So to do the major averages.
Well, you're right. The idea of the 5 largest companies in the market, Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, Google, Facebook, those 5 companies comprising around 22% of the equity cap, record amount of concentration relative to history other than last fall when it hit around 25%. So those companies, almost by arithmetic, are going to drive the overall averages. And so what did you see with these companies? Sales up 40% in the first quarter year over year. Rest of the market, sales, up around 8%, 9%.
You saw that with NEO as well? I'll check that out. Thank you.
Data would suggest the business activity is really, really strong. I think the durability of the business was reflected last year when market had sales down in the second quarter last year, down 7%. These companies had 18% positive revenue growth. So I think the story of these companies is the durability of their business models. And then more important is looking forward. I mean, that is the question we're really focusing on in terms of managing the portfolios, working with clients.
All right. I'm sorry. I'm falling. I can't. No, I'm bored. I'm just bored. Sorry. We need Ross on here. Ross should be on CNBC, because that way when they're like he did on my stream, well, what about inflation, Ross? He could go, there's no effing inflation. It's such a contrarian view, and I love it. All right. So we actually didn't really get full details on a breakdown here from Playboy, but Playboy did report Q1 revenue of $42.7 million. How are they still making $42.7 million? I mean, I know nothing about Playboy, the stock. So yeah, I don't know. I can't really opine on that here. Okay, so let's go to the sticks here. So AMC, okay. I mean, it's still sitting there at 1160. Seems like it's almost got like a little bit of a resistance there. Wow, Josh does not like Ross. Anyway, AMC sitting around this 1160 here. It's still up about 12.8% here. I mean, it's had a wonderful run. You got to be worried a little bit though with the potential here that once you start seeing these red candles continue, you oftentimes get traders and like, I made my profit for today, and it's sell. So just watch. Just be careful and watchful. All right. So Kevin, stop. Kevin, it's a magazine with well-written articles about women entrepreneurs. Look, I'm just not going to say anything. That's the bad. I'm just not going to say anything. I shouldn't have even read that. Okay. So Peloton, 6.22% on the upside here. We've got Desktop Metal, 6.7%. Plug Power. I mean, if you want to see toilet, and this is not, look, I don't want to bag on Plug, okay? I think their partnership with Renault is great. I think they've got a potential in the hydrogen space in 10 years. But this sucks. Like this is one of the worst charts right now. It's rough. It's rough. All right. Gevo moving up again nicely here, but also had a really, really rough ride. Remember Gevo, one of the reasons it really popped here was Biden appointed one of the people from here on his climate panel, which that was good. One of the executives from here. MindMed's got about 5% here. Where's Microvision? We haven't seen Microvision in a while. Nordstrom's up today after a little bit of a sell-off here. Nordstrom has been pretty flat. You see, I mean, since we've had a little bit of an okay ride here since about December. Really, the big gains on the recovery seem to be between November and December. So after the election and then December. Churchill Capital, GameStop. What else here? And then I shouldn't say after the election. It was really after vaccine approval. That's when you got the blow up. Because vaccine approval came on November 9th, and I want to say 22nd. I'm pretty sure I'm right on the 9th. I'm not sure about the 22nd. Not that it really matters, but it was that sort of two-pronged attack there with vaccine approvals. Simon Property Group's up about 3%. Spirit Airlines. So we got some nice recovery here in recovery. Carnival Cruise. Still can't wait to do a course member cruise. Which, speaking of which, I can't believe I haven't mentioned once. Talking again to the marketer that I hired yesterday, and I am blown away with some of the things that you could do that I have never even done. with online like e-commerce. Like I'm just like blown away. But anyway, here I am just kind of doing the same old until they get going, mentioning that there is that 39% off coupon code that you could use before we adjust for inflation and make a big price oopsie doopsies and raise it. which I do raise the price once the coupons expire. But yeah, I'm waiting for them. All right, so any day now. But anyway, we'll be live in the course member live stream in about an hour and 50 minutes. So Square, bouncing off some of the lows that we've had here, was really looking for Square 200. Square 200 is so juicy, but I will say Square 210 is great too. It is a higher future PE stock, so you do get more volatility in both directions here. In other words, you are paying a little bit more for future earnings here at Square, kind of like you do with Tesla too. So you can balance that out sometimes with some lower future PE stocks. Wonder, speaking of which, how AMD is doing. AMD is a perfect example of that. And AMD is what, flat or slightly down? I don't know where it is. AMD. I don't know where it went. I just saw it, but now it's gone. Anyway, Roblox down 3.45%. Volatility down substantially here. Poshmark getting destroyed, down 17%. The heck is AMD? Xpeng is actually negative on this. The what I think sounded like great news, but it's actually negative on that. Pinterest pretty much flat. Okay, let's see if we can get some news coverage here. Let's check it out. You found Meet Kevin through Microvision. There's a Microvision. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, Microvision's been look, I still think Tesla should buy them. I seriously think that. Like, just buy freaking Microvision and incorporate the LiDAR in some way. Sorry, that's just my thought. And I know like, people call me a Tesla fanboy, but when I say that, the Tesla fanboys come out and get pissed at Kevin, okay?
They're still
what have we
holding
got
Bitcoin,
here?
so yeah.
Oh, look at this. The Dow is now up 436 points. You're back well above the 34,000 level. So, Susan, we do indeed have a solid, I'm going to call it a solid rebound this morning after 45 minutes worth of business. There you go. Next case, parents across the country fighting back against critical race theory. Now watch this.
CRT is racist. It
Okay,
is abusive.
hold on. Sorry. We're going to not cover politics here. Okay? This is nothing to do with race. Right now we're focused on stocks. We'll talk about politics when it relates to stocks. That's our deal.
That the buying opportunities was a problem. Here's what he does it, right?
We are challenged with making a good return in a low return world. And so, you know, in the short term, what I worry about is not having great things to buy.
Uh-huh.
Is it different for equity investors? I don't know. What do you think?
AMC just popped again. It's at 1180 right now, another 2 percentage points. Good job, AMC.
So let's find out.
Let's do that. Oh man, let's have a reset. Let's go back to Tuesday. Katie Koch.
It says, yeah.
Goldman Sachs.
I don't know. I like the banter on CNBC more. I don't know. The banter's pretty good on CNBC. You have to give it to them.
Opportunities for me right there. What about you? When you look at tech down yesterday, big, etc., like where are
Yeah, and Howard Marks is a big time investor. I mean, people read his letter, nowhere near, of course, like they read Buffett's letter, but they read the Oak Tree Capital letter.
We do see
I read it too.
opportunities out there and more opportunities being created by this big rotation. So I think that's the thing to focus on in equity markets. We obviously have value up in the 15+% for the year and growth only up a couple of percent. That's after 14 years of growth delivering 300% more than value. But we are at the beginning of this rotation, could last for a while, and therein we see some opportunities. We want to stick with the secular winners.
Whoa, the Colonial Pipeline paid hackers nearly $5 million in ransom. I should have said something, folks. Yesterday, yes, it was hilarious. Yesterday, there was a headline. Colonial Pipeline refuses to pay ransomware hackers. And I was thinking to myself, that's exactly what I would say while I was negotiating to pay them. That's literally exactly what I would do is I would go to the press and I would go, there's no way we're negotiating with these scum. No way. Today we find out they rolled over and paid $5 million. it's perfect. Brilliant negotiating. It's like it's a textbook negotiating. Use the media. Has anybody seen Behind Enemy Lines? Come on. It's all about playing the media. It's great. Behind Enemy Lines was a great example of that. Well, I mean, different, but still, anyway.
About the operating environment. And the second point I would make on tech is that it's great that the real economy is doing better. And as those companies do better and business improves, one of the first things they're going to do, and we know that from speaking to the chief information officers of those companies, is go out and spend money on tech. Digital transformation, cybersecurity, moving workloads to the cloud, all of those things are going to continue to happen, and they're going to benefit tech. So the future's on sale as it relates to tech and a lot of other spaces that are geared to innovation.
Yeah, so what are some of the other sectors or names that are on sale right now? And I guess the other question to that is, what are you selling to then buy those names?
So the way that we think about this kind of broadly is that we do believe in innovation and disruptive innovation, and we want to get our clients on the right side of that. We think about the future of the consumer. We think the healthcare market's going to be radically changed over the next 10 years by technology, especially genomics. And we're very big believers in the transformation to a more sustainable planet. And so we like all of those themes, and we're working hard to get our clients' capital on the right side of those. At the same time, we don't want to get run over by this cycle. And so how do we pull that together? We need two things. The first is we need some patience for investors, because investing in innovation is a tough thing to be mark to market daily. So you really need to look through this short-term noise. And the second thing is...
We're going to switch channels. I'm bored. I'm talking about marketing tech to market daily. I'm sorry. I don't... I won't comment.
I think a lot of these rare earth minerals, copper, aluminum, they could be in a super cycle, but oil is definitely not. I'm a firm believer that with the U.S. oil industry moderating its growth, that we're taking the biggest issue off the table with OPEC. OPEC is very pleased, and OPEC Plus. And all
right, I'm gonna pull off this too. I'm sorry. I think Bloomberg and CNBC are out of people to interview. They're being boring. Yeah. All right. So what do we got here? AMC. AMC flattening a little bit here. A little bit of flattening here. Not sure if it's profit taking at the same time as maybe like, the buy the miner dipping. So then we've got Voyager Digital moving a nice 8% here, which is actually impressive given that a lot of the crypto companies are selling off. Although it rubber bands to it. Sorry. It rubber bands a lot to sorry, Lauren is freaking me out. Oh, okay. All right, where was I? It rubber bands a lot to $20. The Sonos, Express, okay, we got some. These are moving up to the upside a little bit here. See, Peloton, this is a nice trend to the upside here. What's the 1,000 somethings? Hey, Kevin, I'm not from the U.S. I've learned a lot on how to tackle high PEs, watching your streams and videos. Some of the things you speak about seem to hold true good outside the U.S. Thank you for saying that, and thank you for 1,000 currency objects. Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, so let's see. Peloton, yeah, good trend here on the upside here. Let's see here. We've got, is AMC going to run to 12? I mean, it might. It broke through that 1.6. It could. Or 1.6. 11.6. We've got Penn National Gaming. Yeah, bobbing a little bit. We've got OGI, 3%. Macy's doing nicely here at 2.65. Apple's still sitting at 2. Towards the downside, we do have, for some reason, the Asian stocks are not doing as well. See, look at this. You've got Xpeng's down 2 point. Rubies. Oh, thank you. Okay, so for some reason, the Asian stocks are not doing so well. You've got Xpeng down 2% after what actually seemed like very good earnings. But Alibaba and Coupang are down as well. And I want to see how NIO's doing. Oh, by the way, I rode in the Arcimoto Fun Utility Vehicle. They are fun. Stay tuned. I'll make a video on it. NIO is pretty much flat. How is NIO at 33.60? Oh my gosh. It's so cheap. I gotta do another dive on Neo and Xpeng. There you go. Almost at 12 now. Let's go on AMC. Look at that. It just touched 11.99. Pushed down a little bit there. Probably a psychological resistance there, or profit taking at 11.99 wouldn't be a surprise. Oh, guess what Fox News is talking about? Oh man, I don't, and it's sorry, not Fox News, Fox Business every day. I got to get your dose. All right. Okay. So still talking about the pipeline here.
Invested in a company that makes aluminum cans as a substitute because people don't want single-use plastic, and 80% of new drink launches are actually in aluminum cans. And then finally, we own a company that recycles jeans. So I mean, there's a lot of ways to get at this, but yes, we believe it's a big thing over the next 10 years, and very focused on getting clients on the right side of that trend.
Recycling jeans would be huge.
Okay. The interviews right now are just killing me. Let's go back here. Let's look at the 10 years. Okay, break-even expectations. Look at it, still falling. See this? Look at this. Definitely falling here on the break-even expectations, and it's kind of continuing. Fox Business equals random events. You mean like RuneScape? It's like all of a sudden you get the magician, you get the or not the magician, you get the frog event. There's the farmer event. Gosh, I can't remember all of the random events yet, but anyway, decline over here, a 10-year break even. Oh, the maze, solve my problem, my puzzle, and you're dropping here on actually the 10-year treasury as well. You're actually kind of plummeting here. I mean, because it's just a straight line down. I mean, it's not as straight as that was up, but this is actually good, and that's going to help us continue to see a little bit of a push here in equities, which might, I mean, I would say that the AMC momentum here is definitely trader momentum, but you definitely, okay, maybe not so much at Sonos, but some of these we've been looking at here, yeah, I mean, you've been seeing a nice kind of trend up at the same sort of rate as you've been seeing that trend down on, what's it called? The treasuries. So GameStop kind of holding firm. Churchill, look at that flatlining. My goodness, that flatlined right there. Did it just boom past 12? Yeah, there it is. 12.09. Wow. 12.10. Wow. Look at that push. What a pump today on AMC. Very, very cool. Somebody sent, well, now we know it's rubies. 200 rubies. Elon has been manipulating the markets since a long time. Let's destroy Doge. Kate coin will destroy Doge. It's a lot of coin shout outs. Oh, thank you, Carlos. I'll check that out. CNB.CX33HBTMM. Okay, well, I'll check that out later. Appreciate you sending that over. CNBC article. Short link. Okay, so what else do we have here? Well, we have AMC kicking butt. That's clear right now. We are on such a beautiful uptrend today. GameStop has stopped falling, though. You know, it really just got a little flat here, got a little boring. Lost some of its enthusiasm. Peloton starting to lose a little bit of enthusiasm here. Mind Medicine also losing enthusiasm. ChargePoint, I actually, for the first time ever, used a ChargePoint charger at Disneyland. And I have to say, it sucked. Like, I'm sorry. It was so slow. I had the car plugged in for like 5.5 hours, and I come back, and it was like, really? I still have another 100 miles to go? I didn't even really have to come back because I could have just used the app, but I had to go back to the car anyway. So anyway, that was really annoying. I know they probably have fast chargers too, but I'm just like, oh man, this is painful. I mean, I could just plug in at home if I want it painful. Anyway, Poshmark's getting, stabilizing. It got wrecked, and it's sort of stabilizing here. Coinbase still suffering, but also kind of flatlining here. Dogecoin has done a nice climb. Just during this live stream, we've gone up about a penny, and we've had this consistent climb. And the same has been true of Ethereum. We're up about $60 here. Yeah, so very, very nice. Good move here. All right, what else do we have here? Matterport, can't believe it's sitting under $11. Pretty cheap there, but the SPACs are all kind of trying to rubber band to $10, it seems. Bitcoin's also trying to do that slow recovery here as well. Tesla's up about 0.5%. It keeps bobbing around 2%, then 0.5%, 1.25%, then 0.5%, whatever. A little boring today here. Not much entertainment, with the exception of AMC. I have to say that's entertaining. AMC is doing very, very well. All right, let's do a peek over here and see what we got at Bloomberg. But yeah, keep an eye on AMC there. So is this a commercial or what do we got?
Added more than $24,000.
Yep. All right, so Bloomberg's on commercial, CNBC's on commercial, Fox Business is at the border. I kid you not. We are at the border. Oh, man, it's killing me. It's killing me. All right, let's look at top news then. Top. There's a lot of news yesterday. The ransomware news was interesting. The fact that they paid $5 million doesn't really surprise me. You just end up negotiating with these people. Oops, there we go. So we got the hackers, producer price index we talked about. Cathie Wood fans buckle up as ETF assets sink below 40 bill. Ooh. Let's look at that, but also ARK flows. RK flows. There we go. Ooh, yeah, yesterday was another sell-off at ARK. Conrad, we literally tweeted this morning, right here. Charles, go retweet it if you want to see it happen. You spent $5, you can retweet. All right, yeah. So another $214 million flowing out of ARK yesterday. Jeez, man, it's been a rough season here for ARK. I mean, people should be buying the dip in ARK. No end in sight for text pummeling. The cash Cathie Wood is managing in her ETF lineup just dropped below 40 bill, but her loyal fan base is largely hanging on for the ride. Now controls 39.7 billion in ETF funds. Oh, well, that's redundant. But anyway, down from more than 60 billion at its peak in February. Ooh. A large portion of the loss is due to the value of her holdings dropping sharply, as speculative tech names with soaring valuations and massive runs have come back down to earth. I mean, you've even seen that, a lot of people were flooding into Nano Dimensions solely because Cathie Wood was buying it. And yeah, Nano's had a little bit of a rough ride here. It's pretty much been straight down certainly since February. It's been rough. I mean, if you bought at the peak, 16.15, I think it was something like that. Yeah, 16.10, 17, 17.89. My goodness, that's more of a sell-off than Plug had. No, it's been a bummer. But that CEO, I'll tell you, he took advantage of every single opportunity to raise shares. It was very, very smart because he knew it was temporary. He's like, these prices ain't gonna last. We're gonna dump. Cardano did get to an all-time high today. That is true. That is true. So Doge 2.5 sitting at 43. Ethereum 1.83. Good. Trying to rotate up again here, and BTC at 50.5. I almost said 55.5. AMC back under 12 here, folks. A little bit of a rotation back to the downside here. Yeah, but then again, we've had these little moments of sell-offs here. Softening red candle here. So we'll see if this ends up turning to a nice green stick again. It might. All right, everything most things seem stable. Peloton giving back a little bit here. Yeah, Peloton's giving back a little bit. Boy, Peloton's gotten some FUD lately. Some bad news. And in fairness, you gotta give it to them. They've had some bad news, but it's a long opportunity for me. And honestly, I think they'll bounce back by September, October too. It's not like one of those like, oh, don't worry, 5 years, I'm sure it'll be fine. I think that too, but it's definitely caught up in the tech consumer discretionary wreck. Pinterest down about a third here. Tesla's pretty much flat today. Tesla's being a little baby. Starbucks 1%, EXPI 1%. Yeah, all right. It's a little boring here. What else do we have here? Nothing. CNBC got anything for us? I'm getting bored. I'm gonna have to start pitching life insurance here by going to metkevin.com/lemonade or metkevin.com/life, or just go to metkevin.com/join and join the courses. Use that 39% off coupon code link down below. Which one of these days the price is just gonna change because the marketing folks are just gonna do it. Let's listen in. This is the first time I hired marketing folks.
A lot of the large cap technology names have been amongst some of the worst performers during this sell-off.
What?
Josh Lipton joins us now with a look at where people might want to put their money. Josh.
So, David, let's start with Apple, which is higher right now, but we know, of course, it has been a rough stretch for the iPhone maker, closing yesterday below its 200-day moving average for the first time in more than a year, on pace here for its worst week since late February. If there's a rotation out of tech, then Apple is going to get hit. Also, though, some investors do question whether the company can really sustain the tremendous momentum it's seeing. Bulls like Gene Munster of Loop Ventures counter that Apple is a buy, though. There's a big pool of iPhone fans, he says, that will continue upgrading, especially as the 5G rollout continues. And Munster bets that Mac and iPad will continue showing strong growth in the quarters ahead. Another area to watch, the semis, with the SMH also higher in early trading here, but on pace for its worst week since March of last year. Bernstein's Stacy Rasgon says the pressure is not that surprising. Valuations became stretched after remarkable runs, and during the earnings season, there was a lot of hot talk about continued shortages and supply constraints. Having said that, Stacy remains a believer in the companies that make the equipment used to manufacture chips. Applied Materials and Lam Research, he says, are buys. Finally, take a look at the Hero. That's the ETF that tracks the video game industry, trying to avoid its 11th day of losses in the last 13 sessions. Zynga, Take-Two, Activision, EA, all now underperforming the market over the past 12 months. But Andrew Urquhart over at Jefferies bets that these game makers will keep growing on the back of strong content and solid pipelines. And valuations, he says, now look very reasonable. Andrew is a fan of Zynga, Activision, and EA. Back to you all.
Josh, thanks for that. It's a good place to start with our next guest, who's got a new call on Apple, seeing some potentially worrisome trends and similarities between the cycle on the iPhone 12 and an old cycle with the 6. Let's dive in further with Bernstein senior research analyst Tony Sabanaki.
Right, I'm done with the Apple talk. Sorry. Man, AMC, come on, folks. Let's go. What is this? This looks like profit taking. If I ever saw profit taking, come on, AMC, folks. Let's get this moving a little bit again here. Yeah, a little bit of that rotation here to the downside now. A little bit of the profit taking. It doesn't surprise me to see it jump on over. And you think Bernstein's going to talk about Tesla? Maybe he'll talk about Tesla. Okay, all right. Let's give him a shot again here.
Screen phones. That was a very strong cycle. The iPhone 10 cycle in.
Still talk about the iPhone. iPhone super cycle. All right, so go back to the state. Well, if I see them talk about Tesla, we'll jump back. What else do we have here? Skills, getting up 5.4 here. Well, how have they been in the day here? Oh, okay, they've been kind of stable around here. Ubiquity back at 280 here. UAL's up about 2.8. Mostly stable today. I'm not really seeing big intraday changes. And when we go to the terminal just to see the inflation here, break-even inflation continuing to trend down here a little bit. And we've got a tiny little tick up here on the 10-year Treasury. But, yeah, otherwise, we're definitely rotating in the right direction. So I like to see that. I would love to hear this folk. Can you say that? Can you say folks singularly? I don't think you can. I'd like to hear this person talk about Tesla if he does. But right now he's on Apple. Let's try Bloomberg for a moment.
Technology was integrated into everything we did. We feel the same way about ESG. Anything that's a societal risk, a governance risk,
never mind.
You have their most enthusiastic users upgrading, particularly in China and other areas of Asia. And that's exactly what we're seeing again this time.
I guess, Tony, the question would be what's different this time, whether it's the degree to which services make up a larger part of their business, whether or not the multiple was any different distance away from a market multiple. Are there any things that might ameliorate that if, in fact, this were to repeat?
Sure. So services is definitely a larger portion of Apple's revenues today, and that would mitigate fall-offs in iPhone. I think, on the other hand, though, the Mac and iPad businesses have been doing extremely well this year. They were both up over 70% last quarter. These are businesses that have struggled to grow over the last 5 or 6 years. So while we think services will continue to be strong next year, the challenge is not only about iPhone, it's also about the Mac and iPad businesses, which have had explosive years this year, in part because of COVID and work from home and learn from home. And so that's sort of the double challenge that Apple faces looking into.
All right, well, I'm going to pull off this, and I think that is pretty good for now. So I'll see you all later. Appreciate you being here. Check out that coupon code, link down below. Get your 2 free stocks with Webull. Do it right now. Get your $250, up to $250 for free with BlockFi. Metkevin.com/BF. Get paid interest on your crypto. Get your 2 free stocks with Webull by depositing $100 and getting those 2 free stocks. Check out those programs down below before those prices jump. Got inflation, folks. I gotta join the party. And we'll see you in the next one.